What's happening, guys? In this video I'm planning to put the car back together, but in order for this to happen I need to fix few little things. For example, this thing right over here is my rear differential, and these are the rear axle cups, and as you can see the rest of the axles are missing, and the reason for this is because my boots are torn, so I need to replace them. This is going to be my second time replacing them, and let me show you what kind of boots I'm using. So right over here, Dorman 6104-001 is the part number. They're universal boots, and my first impression is that they improve on quality since the last time I bought them. They're a little bit thicker than before, which is a good thing, so hopefully they're gonna hold up better than the old ones, but don't expect too much life out of them, because you get what you pay. So let's get to work. I'm going to use a flat screwdriver to pop out the clip. There we go. The direction you're taking off the tripod bearing, you want to put it the same way. To be able to use your universal boot, you need to cut off your old boot right over here. The cut is pretty bad, but you get the idea, because the shape here is not round, and that's why you needed to cut it off here and leave this piece, and you're just gonna slip over the universal boot. So let me fill up the grease and keep going. Both of the axles are done, so what I'm going to do next is replace my fuel feed line. So let me show you what I bought. Fragoa PTFE hose. I bought this back in 2018, and I think it's about time to use it. So the PTFE hose, it's a little bit different than the regular one. It has some benefits and some drawbacks. Let me unpack this first. The PTFE hose which I bought, it comes with this black coating, and when you strip it you can see the stainless steel braid, and this thing right over here is the Teflon tubing. And the great thing about this hose is that it's less corrosive, so it's good for E85. And the other thing is that it doesn't let fuel vapor going out. So if you're running your factory evap system, your garage won't smell like a gas station. Now let's talk about the drawbacks. One of the biggest drawbacks for me is that this hose doesn't bend that much, which kind of limits you to where you can run the hose. And the other thing are the fittings. For example, this one right over here, as you can see, have this extra piece, the ferrule. So if I put the hose together and then I decided to take it apart, I will have to replace this ferrule every time. So which kind of sucks, but this is the trade-off for the better hose. First we have to put the back end of the flare, and I'm going to use a little bit of soapy water. This way it's going to be a lot easier. For the next step, we're gonna use a 7/16 wrench, and we're gonna measure, and then we're gonna cut through the black coating only. Now we just have to open up the stainless steel to be able to put the ferrule. I'm going to use a flat screwdriver. We have to put our ferrule. The PTFE holes have to be flush with this lip right here. So we're just gonna push. And there we go. Now it's flush. The final step is to put the other end of the fitting. And we're gonna use a little bit of soapy water for lubrication. There we go. And now we just need to connect them. We're gonna move the bottom piece. All the rust is gone, as you guys can see, and I had to do two patches, one here and one over here, because the metal was eaten away from the rust, as you can see. And now I just have to paint it. Looking good. I decided that it's not a bad idea to patch the holes from the 95 wing. As you can see right over here, they turn out okay, not that great. Some of them are pretty bad actually, but with a little bit of grinding they will be good. I was using my TIG welder, and it's a little bit more difficult, and I'm not a good welder anyway. I still have to patch the hole here and a few more over here. This is for the hatch. On the other quarter panel they're done, but the bad part is that I overheat the metal over here, and there's a little bit of a dent here, so I have to fix this, but it's not a big deal. On this side there's a really small dent, because I knew better that this is really weak spot. So now I just have to weld the hatch, the holes on the hatch, and I'm done. I did some grinding, so now it's a little bit better, and I weld these holes here, this one also. But then I remember that I have to fix my hatch. As you can see, there's a lot of rust. I will try to weld it. I should have bought a new hatch, kind of bump, but I'll try to fix it. Hopefully I will be able to, because I already put some work into it. Finally, I'm done with the welding. As you guys can see, there are no more holes. TIG welding, filling up the holes wasn't that difficult actually, because I'm getting used to it. I mean, it's not the best, but it will do the job, so it's fine with me. And now I just have to grind down everything, and then I'm gonna be ready to put the gas tank back on. I'm done with the grinding. As you guys can see, it turned out okay. It will need a little bit of a bundle. Other than that, the welds are pretty solid. And over here on this side, over here, it turned out pretty good actually. So that's it. Now I just have to put the gas tank back on and keep going from there. And everything started because of this little thing. Finally everything is back together, and as you guys can see, it looks a lot cleaner than before. And right over here is my check valve, and I ran the line right over here and up to the back. After putting everything back together, I was having some fuel leak again from over here, and I was suspecting that my check valve is also bad, but then after with some more testings, I realized that actually the old clamp which was here, this clamp right over here, wasn't able to clamp the holes enough to make a proper seal. So I changed the clamp with this one, the shiny one, and now everything is good so far, at least. We will see. Now let's move up front, and here's my fuel feed line, and as you guys can see, the installation turned out pretty clean. I had to modify these brackets a little bit. This plastic piece, I had to cut it and move it forward. Then I used some zip ties to hold it, and my brake lines, I had to move them and the fuel return lines also. But it turned out really good actually. The lines are not going anywhere, pretty solid. And I had to modify this one also. But I have some work up front that I need to fix before I start the car. I have power steering leak. I already cleaned it up a little bit, but I'll have to replace my power steering rack and pinion. And I also have some a leak from my transfer case. So I'm going to reseal this section, and hopefully this is gonna stop the leak. And that's it, what I'm doing right now. I'm going to replace my power steering rack with this one on the ground. It's not brand new one, it's some old one which I had for a few years already, so I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna take every bit of his life. Top cover of the transfer case, and I can see a little bit of pitting here. Someone else opened it before me and messed it up, so I'll put a little bit more RTV here and hopefully it won't leak. It's been like 3 days and the silicone is still soft, as you can see. I tried to heat it up to accelerate the process, but that didn't work. Apparently, what is wrong, this bottle right here, when it's too old, like 3 years old, it doesn't matter how long you're gonna wait, it will never cure. And this one is actually not that old, it's 2 years, about 2 years old. These numbers here, you see 0, it's for 2020, and E, it's May month, so it's not even 2 years old, and it doesn't want to cure. So what I did, I bought a new one, and this one is 3-4 months old, so hopefully this is gonna fix my problem. Something unexpected happened again. I stripped the thread for this ball right here, and now I have to repair it, which kind of sucks. So this is the bolt, and as you can see, some of the thread is on the bolt. So I bought a helicoil repair kit, and I just don't know if this can take the torque which I need to torque down the bolt after that. So I also bought the time search insert, because I couldn't buy the whole kit because they didn't have it in stock. Usually this is the kit they're selling with everything you need. but I wasn't able to find one in stock, so I bought just the inserts. So I will try to install this one somehow. If not, I'm gonna use the helicoil, but let's see. And it's all done. I ended up using helicoil because the time insert was too long. This one was a little bit too long version. I have to buy a shorter version, but I think I will be fine with the helicoil. Perfect, 44 pounds. This 3M bristle disc, it's really good for cleaning exhaust flanges, as you can see. So if you ever wonder what to use, I highly recommend this. I'm done with all this crap down here, and now I just have to replace the two fuel lines up here, and I'm going to be ready to start the car. Unfortunately, I'm not going to replace these two lines, because I managed to make one of them, and the other one I messed up the fittings. Apparently this is common with the Fragoa fittings. The threads I cross-threaded probably, or I don't know. I read on the internet, and it's very common. So probably I'm gonna stay with these two lines for now, and in the future I'm going to install my third gen brake booster, so the line will be with 90 and 90 up here, so it will be different. I'm gonna wait a little bit. This line are good. I think this one are Russo. I replaced them 3-4 years ago maybe, so they'll be fine for now. So let's see if I have some fuel leaks from the fuel feed line. Hopefully not, because I'll be really disappointed. Alright, let's see if I have any leaks. I already checked it once, and there was a huge leak here actually. I forgot to tie down the line so it was a mess. So let's see on the second attempt what's gonna happen. Alright, so far it's all good. No leaks here. Let's see up front. And no leaks down there. That's good. First startup. Is idling by herself now, but when it's cold I have to be on the gas pedal. Well guys, finally my car is up and running, but I guess you can hear that something is not right. And can you guess what it is? It's the fuel pump, which kind of sucks. Pretty loud. Does mean it's on the way out, or maybe there's some restriction on the way up to the fuel rail, but I guess that probably is the fuel pump. Should be the fuel pump. And I bought a guys, so thanks for watching, and have a great one.